right, it's another ooky, spooky session. This is your reading for Wednesday, April 24th. If you would like to see the spread, go to LVXMediaNet on Instagram. It will be published in the stories. All right, let's get into it. So, the theme today is the Eight of Pentacles. The keywords here being skill, talent, or quality of work. The tool card is the inverted Five of Swords, which is resolving conflict, some regrets, and a bit of remorse, depending on the situation. The obstacle card is the inverted Ten of Wands, which is shouldering too much responsibility, taking on too many tasks, trying to do too many things at one time. The advice card is Temperance, the message being identify and seek out the missing ingredients in your life. Sixth instinct is Saturn. Keywords on this one are reality, contraction, and effort. The moon phase is waning gibbous, as it will be for the rest of the week. This is the one where you identify things that can be trimmed out of your life, like negative habits. And there's a different way that this one works and I'll get to that actually right now. So let's put it all together. This is actually a really pleasant break from tradition of our typically shitty midweek read. The theme card today is one that highlights our talent and our ability to accomplish the mission with finesse. But it also comes with a nudge in the direction of making sure to prioritize your mission, whatever it is that you are devoting your time to. So there's a scene in a movie that I really like. It's called The Last Samurai, where the main character, Tom Cruise, he's learning how to fight with a katana, right? They're using the fucking wooden ones. And he's getting his ass beat a lot. And one of the people who kind of like watches out for him or watches over him says, this is the exact words from the movie, I'm going to quote it. It's too many mind. Mind sword, mind feet, mind people watch. Too many mind. And then Tom Cruise looks like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he says, no mind. So for our purposes, the character in that scene is describing the exact pitfall that the Eight of Pentacles is warning us about. So if you try to focus on too much shit, if you're juggling too many balls, you're going to drop something and it's going to be important and it might be irreparable. So that brings us to the tool card. When we get this one upright, it's usually a sign of tension, conflict with other people. But when it's inverted, we're getting the resolution of those conflicts because we just want to stop being on edge all the time. Want to stop fucking, I don't know, always on guard. I think in the context of the reading, the way I look at it is that we're looking at putting something to pasture that has been holding us back and we haven't wanted to put it, to let it go. The conflict that we're resolving here is not with other people. It's with our too many mind situation. On Monday, in the advice position, we got the Hermit. I think it's a good idea to just give you a little nudge to remember what the Hermit is, and that's introspection. So our obstacle today is just too good. Too good. Because it's specifically saying, stop doing so much shit. Stop it. You're trying to do too much with yourself when you don't have to. So this is going to have to go one of two ways if you're going to truly, lessen the load that you put on yourself. You're going to have to learn how to delegate, or you're going to have to learn what you can drop. Either way, you need to stop doing so much. I personally struggle with the delegate part because not everybody has the same vision that you do. Well, maybe they do have, just for my purposes, like you have the same vision, but the path by which you get there, you don't take the same road. So it's one of those things you're going to have to take a step back and let others contribute, or just drop the whole shit altogether. But I'm not going to do that. So I'm learning how to collaborate more. Anyway, the advice cards message, I think, is what we can start looking at or thinking about after we make those hard choices of trimming stuff away from our daily schedule. So if we clear out all the bullshit, we're going to see gaping holes of what those used to fill. So that this is where the hermit, thing comes into play. But add in a little bit of esoterica and, well, just whatever spiritual practices that you prefer, meditation, if you want to do your own tarot readings or whatever it is that you like to do. I'm partial to tarot, no kidding. This is, as you're hermiting, you're going to discover the bigger and better things that you want in those places and should be in those places and can be in the places that you just cleared out. Now, the sixth instinct, it's, God, I couldn't have written this better myself, and I fancy myself a good writer. The sixth instinct comes with the impetus to overcome this difficulty because the grass really is greener on the other side. So I can tell you personally, yes, it is. The moon phase here, it's exactly what it needs to be, and that's pushing us to drop all the nonsense that needs to be dropped. Now, last thing, the stone. Today we got a red jasper. The typical uses for this are to foster patience and understanding, as well as strength and security. Now, at face value, these don't really seem like they match our needs today, but let's take a walk with me on this one. We need to be patient with ourselves when we examine the unnecessary things that we have in our lives, because I'm very guilty of this. When you stop and think about how much time, effort, money, everything that you've put into this thing, you're going to be a bit upset with yourself. You're going to kick yourself. A while back, I was into day trading, and it's a stocks thing, this fucking boneheaded thing, but whatever. There was a mantra that I had learned. I'd read about it, and I followed it pretty closely, and that was, the essence of it is to have a rationale for why you do the things you do. Why do you make this buy? Why do you make this sell? Why do you set that limit, or whatever the case is? So in the stock analogy, if you buy at, I'm just going to make up numbers here. You buy XYZ at $100 a share, and then the next day it drops to like 50. That's a lot of money that you just lost. And that's really aggravating. It's infuriating, not aggravating. I would like be losing my mind over that. But you keep in mind the rationale for why you bought at that price, why you made that move at that time. Same thing on the other side is a lot of people have rationales for why they buy at certain times, but they don't have rationale for why they sell. Because if something like XYZ is currently at 100 and it's climbing, and you sell at 150, but then a few days later it's at 250, and you're, oh shit, look what I fucking missed, right? But that's why you need to have the rationale for why you made that choice. I think the sell analogy here is better, because we're going to be cutting things away from our lives. So having a rationale for why you picked those things to cut away is important to have. Like, I think you see like the point that I'm making here, right? So if you live by FOMO, which it's fear of missing out, it's an acronym. If you live by FOMO, you're never going to make the necessary changes. You're only going to ever half commit to anything, because you're always waiting for the next thing to come along. Now, if you can't, we can't, I can't, you can't, we cannot foresee what the world around us is going to do. We can only act the way that we feel is best with the information that we have available to us at the time we're making that decision. So it's important, if you have to, write it down. That's what I used to do when I was day trading. I used to write down, why did I do this? Because if that shit goes belly up later, rather than kick myself, I just read why I did it. So further, the strength and security aspect of the red jasper, I think they have similar roles here. Specifically with strength, like it's going to be difficult to have to do this because you're breaking the sunk cost fallacy, which I've mentioned plenty of times here. And I actually mentioned a little bit ago, like when you start thinking about how much you've put into this, whatever it is, letting it go is going to be difficult. So you need to be strong in making these choices and secure in yourself. Trust to yourself that you've made the right choice, and to stick to that choice and not go back on it. You know what I mean? This one went kind of long because seriously, this shit just came together way too nicely. It really did. This one resonates with me a lot. Holy shit, a lot. Wow. So this might seem it's like convenient. Yeah, the skeptic in me says, yeah, it would be if I was in your position listening. So if you go to Patreon, go to LVX Media Net on Patreon, I publish a video at the end of the week, every week. It shows how I put all of this together. It's kind of a ritual. I'm starting to get it, pretty down to a science, less of an art. That is to say, like, I know what the things that I want to do, how I get the things that I get, what decks I pick, how the stone of the day comes out, all of that stuff, right? It's all in that video every week. This one is just too good. I think if you listen to Hardshell Tacos, you may or may not know that both Lily and I actually we both started new jobs this week. So this one is very on the money for me. Pun not intended there. So there's the Patreon thing, LVX Media Net. That's the social media handle everywhere. We're most active on Instagram and a little bit of Facebook, but that's about it. If you want a personalized reading, you can go to lvxmedia.net. That's the website. Hit the spooky button. If you scroll down the page a little bit, there's a form you can fill out. Calls for all the info. What do you want me? Is this reading about? Is this about love, your career? Is this about money? Whatever the case is. And there's also photos that you can scroll through, look at the artwork for the different decks that I have, and then you can pick the one that you like best. You don't have to, but I think it's important for you to pick the artwork that you feel best represents you and it speaks to you. So there's that. Oh God, it's the unfortunate part that I don't like having to say, but I have to. All right, if you communicate with me via DM on social media, I have to really stress this. That is not a private communication channel. Believe it or not, this is a business that I run. Other partners in this business have access to those accounts. They see all of the same chats that I do. Use the page if you want to submit something to me. If you want to keep that information private, which totally understandable. But on that note of keeping it private, don't send me fucking weird stuff. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. I understand wanting love readings or career stuff, and man, it was definitely landed hard in the unethical category. highly unethical what they were asking of me, or what they were asking for, like, guidance on or advice on. Like, highly unethical and bordering on illegal. So, like, when I say weird shit, if what you're asking me falls into those categories, highly unethical, close to illegal, or straight up illegal, like, I'm not fucking helping you. I'm sorry, I'm not. Uh, yeah, I'm not. I'm just not doing it. So I think that's it. Questions, comments, concerns, 833 Lux Pods. You can call, text, whichever you prefer. It's anonymous either way. If you want your audio cut into the show, it would be ideal to call and leave a voicemail. You can send voice notes on WhatsApp if you want. I'd prefer you call. It's much easier. But yeah, if you whatever it is that you're thinking about it, it's fine. I'd love to hear from really anybody. So the number 833-589-7637. All right, I think that's gonna do it. I'll see you tomorrow. Same ooky time, same spooky place.